talk about this issue of what happened with Sylvester Oromoni. We'll look at it from the angle of the boy, the school, and then the government. I would like to start with you, Betty, because that's why you're here in the first place, and you've been granting several interviews on this particular issue. Let's talk.
It's quite heartbreaking, like you said, and Sylvester's death is a death that should never have happened if we had an effective system in place to protect the life of students, to protect the lives of young people. We have the Nigerian Child Rights Act of 2003, which has spelled out all the provisions where children can be protected and all of that, and what the punishment that should be meted out to people who violate the rights of children. In Lagos, where Sylvester was till his death, where he was hurt, we have the Domesticated Child Rights Act of Lagos State 2007. We have, even not just of recent, we have the Lagos State Child Protection Policy of 2017. The problem is even basic awareness. Are the schools aware of these rules and the need for them to really protect young people? Are the children themselves aware of their rights in order to be able to report bullying, to report all kinds of things that are directly against the child's right, their rights? Are those laws even being enforced? So basically, I think it's a failure of the system, it's a failure of the school. And that school particularly failed Sylvester, because from all their body language, from all the responses since this boy died, it's extremely clear that all they care about is their commercial interest. This boy had been hurt, but all they were out to do was to protect the monsters that are terrorizing other innocent children. And it's even obvious that this has been going on for a very long time. I saw something online on social media about a boy who ran away from the school. He says there are a lot of bullies in that school, and that he ran away to save his life. He's an old student. He's a bit grown up now. So this is a system that swallows children, a system that damages children. But the principals, the owner of the school administrators decided to look away because they must protect their financial interests. There was something that I heard Sylvester's father said over on Arise TV, and I broke down in tears. Say after Sylvester died, the principal of the school called him and said, "Why did you put those gory pictures online? That you know your son was a very fine boy. People should not have that kind of image of him." So as far as there's concerned is the image of the boy. This is a life that has been lost. Someone just lost his son. And what you could tell him is, you shouldn't have put the picture, your son was a fine boy. And as at the time he spoke to Rise TV, I think about 2 days ago or so, the owner of that school had not deemed it fit to call him. I went to Dowens College Instagram page. There was nothing about this boy on his birthday. Not even a show of sympathy that we've lost someone. Whether it was you think it's as a result of what happened to him in the school or a natural death, the fact that you lost a student is enough for you to express sympathy. There was nothing. So, and it's not just Dowen College. It happens all over. In Premier Academy, you have the case of Karen, a 4-year-old girl. I think another school in Lagos in recent years, Chrisland School, the immediate instinct of all the schools is to protect their image. And it all boils down to their commercial interest. They must keep collecting the school fees, the outrageous school fees. And it's at the expense of the lives of these children. So it behoves on the Lagos State government, on the stakeholders, the law enforcement agency, the Nigerian government, to instill sanity into the Nigerian school systems, especially the secondary schools, these elite schools that are out to get as much money as possible and do not really care about the lives of these children.
Thank you, Betty. You know, my first thoughts when, you know, report after report on this issue started coming out, what shocked me initially was the fact that we're talking about secondary school students, and in the same line we're talking about cultism. You know, that for me was really shocking. Like it got into this point where a child actually lost his life because other students were trying to initiate him into a cult. How did you receive the whole story when it started?
Shocking, really. Patience, this morning I must again narrate my own story to you. I wouldn't have forgiven myself. 2018, my son got admission into a school in Ogba, and at the age of 9, myself and my wife was trying to contest an election at that time, so I was always away from Lagos in my place. So my wife took my son to the school boarding at the age of 9, and the following day it took him on a Sunday. So on a Monday after school, my son that has never trekked that far found his way back home. He trekked in the rain back home. And what shocked me really was that the school authority didn't know he has left the school.
They didn't even know he left. Wow.
Now, and I asked myself, I thought boarding school is the safest place. I didn't have the opportunity growing up because my school and my house, my home was very close, so there was no need for me to go to a boarding school. So I told my wife back in the village, I said, we have to bring him back home. So let's convert the money for the boarding into school bus. Let us see him. Now, that is as careless as a boarding school could be. Now, just imagine that I have not seen my son, that he went out that day, he never returned. Nobody in the school would have claimed responsibility. That's how bad it is. Now, he left the school after closing hour, walked out of the gate. It's African Model College. It's there. African Model College. It's there. He walked out of the gate and trekked home. A 9-year-old. I live in Abulegba, Olani. He trekked from that place in a heavy downpour. He was completely drenched. My wife was shocked when my daughter said, Favor is back.
But what was his reasons? Did he say why he left the school?
He said he just wanted to come and see the family. He has never stayed away from home.
So, all right. I just wanted to know.
That's
nobody accosted him.
No, nobody. That's my concern is that he left the school. The school authority didn't know until in the evening. Nobody asked. They didn't call my wife to say, sorry, we have not seen your son. Is he with you? That's what I'm saying. That's how careless the procedure in the boarding school could be. Do you understand? That's how careless it could be. So I told myself I would never allow him go to boarding school anymore. None of my children will go because I can't guarantee their safety. Do you understand? So now the cultism, you know, the problem that we have now in expensive private school is that they give admission to those who can afford it, not those who merit it. Now, if I have a rascal as a son and I'm unable to tempt him, and the only place I can dump him is a boarding school, the moment I can pay any school in Lagos here, as expensive as it can be, and the moment I can pay, that boy will be given admission, even if he's a blockhead. It's as simple as that. So it's a failure of the government that if we have a proper school system, a public school system that admits students on merit, that go to school to study, we will not be having, see, this thing abound everywhere. Betty was just trying to say it. Chrisland, Atlantic, everywhere. It happens everywhere. In fact, your child is safer in a school that is less expensive than the expensive school. Now, the most disheartening thing for me, I don't know how true it is that those children who were involved in that thing has been taken out of this country. It is very bad. That's what that's what I got, the information I got this morning, that they've been taken out of this country.
They're going to be brought back
to US,
they'll be brought
to UK. How can that be? So even the school is bothered about the revenue that they are going to lose, that at the death of one of your students, that you could actually fly all your flag at half max, all right, suspend school for 1 week. You are saying that yes, the school is closed, but the online schooling continues. It's how insensitive could you be? How inhuman could you be? You own a school and you have children. You know how hurting it could be for you to lose any of your child. Somebody paid that amount of money.
Was it not the entire school that was shut down? Was this just a physical school?
So you came out and released a statement that the school will continue online. So that means the life of your student do not matter. What happens to them do not matter to you, as long as others can continue. What happens in a country where the former president will pass and they will say, okay, the flag is flown and have marks, the offices will not be open for work today, just in the honor of the person. What honor can you give to a young boy, 11-year-old, father paid so much for his death? It's so bad. And I think it's high time that government will begin to look at the school system, how it's actually run. Because for me, I feel I'm a product of a public school. In Methodist Boys' School that I attended, and I finished in 1994, I have never heard of cultism in secondary school. Those things will look like when you want to go to university, they said cultism is in university level. That in my secondary school, I've never heard of cultism. Wow. How? Patient, do you even know that in primary school that there is cultism?
That's what I heard. Like, you were wondering where all of this is coming from.